arrived at PlayStation Access. Please mind the awesome as you alight. Coming up this week, we channel our inner nerd at the Kapow Comic Con, set easily beatable lap times for the GT Academy, and gawp at new footage from The Last of Us in our PlayStation briefing. First up though, it's time for Mud and T-Bones in our Game of the Week, Dirt Showdown. You probably know Dirt as that immaculate rallying franchise with the tight handling and Hollywood looks. Respectable, authentic, not at all likely to give you heart palpitations. Well, now imagine Dirt after a colossal all-nighter in which it's downed petrol cocktails, pulled a score of hotties and cracked out donuts on the dance floor, all while looking sexier than a Bugatti's undercarriage. Now call it Dirt Showdown and bam! You've arrived at our Game of the Week with a decent idea of how brilliant this is. It's Dirt jacked up on arcade thrills and Destruction Derby-esque takedowns. Bumpers out, throttle down, rules forgotten. It's full of new modes too, though the majority involve crunching into opposition cars as hard as is automotively possible and being rewarded by a point splurge and or the hobbling crawl of a wrecked adversary. Get properly mangled and Dirt Showdown will politely ask if you'd like crash back, to which the only suitable response is, yes, I'll have carnage pounds, head-on collision pence please. Brilliantly, you can then thumb the camera round for a 360-degree view of your collision and even make it go in slow motion. Plus, you can then feed the trolls by uploading your tastiest replays to YouTube. Out of all the modes, 8-ball is by far our favourite, namely because the deliberate lack of any sort of radar means track intersections are lethal and guaranteed to make you go all high and squealy. It also means no matter how far behind you are, there's always a chance you can T-bone the leader up the rear bumper and nick a spawny first place. Outside of racing, there's Rampage and Knockout to enjoy. The former always descends into a bowl of molten car parts as you smack people for prizes, while the latter is essentially sumo wrestling without the nappies. Dirt Showdown muddies up your PS3 on May the 25th and comes as highly recommended as tearing along the motor... What? Oh, should we not say that? Okay. As highly recommended as driving at 30 miles per hour and always wearing your seatbelt.
Shake, rattle and roll.
Spooning creamy news yoghurt directly into your mouths now, it's your PlayStation briefing. We start small but brilliant with the announcement that we're finally going handheld. Yes, you can now download every episode of Access TV from the PlayStation Vita store and pipe high-def entertainment into your eyes while on the go. More news from The Last of Us now, as Naughty Dog show off a brand new trailer depicting Joel and Ellie's encounter with a gang of not very nice men. As well as pushing home the fact you won't just be up against blokes with mushrooms growing out their eyes, the trailer also confirms Ellie's had a slight redesign. Sticking with trailers, Death is looking uncharacteristically sprightly in this new chunk of Darksiders 2 footage, as he sets out to prove he's the meanest mother on the block by killing an angry walking mountain. That, and he's got a really lovely horse. Running through fields, ghostly fetlocks blowing in the wind. Lovely. We round up with news that tactical squad shooter Ghost Recon Future Soldier hits stores on May the 25th and comes highly recommended due to the inclusion of some very sexy bits of combat tech. And to accompany the game, why not check out the short movie Ghost Recon Alpha over on YouTube right now. That's your news for this week. We'll be back with another briefing next time. Saving the planet by going boxless now, it's our weekly roundup from On The Store. Knock knock! Who's there? Doctor! Doctor Who! Correct! Which you knew because you could already see it. And now the Time Lord has made the temporal leap to PSN in super quiffed Matt Smith guise with The Eternity Clock, a side-scrolling sci-fi adventure available for download today. As well as being all official and BBC branded, the game is due out on PlayStation Vita come June the 13th, which ever so slightly softens the blow of there being no Karen Gillan. Fans of racing and or made-up words should definitely check out the playable demo for Ridge Racer Unbounded, a sleek destruction-heavy arcade racer from Namco that's brilliant for 3 reasons. 1, it rewards you for driving into walls. 2, it has the sexiest reflections of all time. And 3, it's absolutely not in any way bounded at all. And finally, if the magic of sorcery made you hungry for more PlayStation Move, say hello to PS3's first chef simulator, Order Up. We'll forgive it the double exclamation marks because of the brilliant way the game makes use of motion control and the fact it lets us flip pancakes without the bother of peeling them off the ceiling afterwards. That's it from the store for now. We'll hit you with the digital stick again next week. You might already know that the search for this year's GT Academy champion is now underway. The annual competition, now in its 4th year, tests drivers' real and virtual racing skills to find the ultimate PlayStation competitor, and the standard is high. Previous winners include Lucas Ordonez, who scored a podium finish at last year's Le Mans 24 Hours, and Cardiff's own Jan Mardenborough, who's steadily building a pro racing career. What you might not know is that you can get involved right now. To enter the competition, all you need to do is download this free GT Academy 2012 content from the store and race through the challenges inside. You don't even need a copy of GT5, although you will of course need your race face on if you're going to match our times. Or, yeah, maybe not. We'll be following the competition through live events and track days all the way to the UK final. So stay tuned to Access for the latest and get those lap times in right now. Welcome to the Kapow Comic Convention in London, a gathering of righteous geeks celebrating the best in screen and spandex. While a host of movie and cult stars were quizzed by Total Film and SFX magazines, we went behind closed doors to hang out with the awesome DC Comics crew, where talk naturally turned to how amazing Rocksteady's Batman games are.
Batman's just the coolest character, so it's like, you know, you put them in, get the right people working on it, and you're going to have something really great.
We knew they raised the bar in regards to what the expectations for the game were or the gaming experience was going to be.
You know, we always say that it's a real kind of privilege and honour for us to work in the Batman universe and work with this great character, and hopefully people really feel that when they play our games.
My wife doesn't let me play video games, so that's where I'm at with that.
And I'm completely uncoordinated. That's why we have co-publishers. Jim's the gaming guy, I'm not.
I would love to play a Superman game. I mean, Superman, the fun would be like being a god, you know what I mean, and having that incredible power and sort of not having to find the restraint, you know, to be a good person, a good superhero and help people, but not do it on such a scale where you're reshaping the events of the world, because you'd have the opportunity to. So I would love to see a good Superman game.
Everyone wants to know if we're making a Superman game. We're making a Superman. I am not at liberty to discuss what we're doing next in any way, and I'm sure someone from PR would jump and kill me if I even attempted to tell you what we're doing next. It's top secret, but it is really exciting.
I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan. Linda Carter was like my first crush, actually, playing Wonder Woman. I used to have this like horrible nightmare that she would lasso me with that golden lasso, and then it would make you tell the truth, you know, and you'd be like, I love you, Wonder Woman, and you'd be like, oh no, did I say that? But I would love to play a Wonder Woman game as well. I'm secure enough in my masculinity to play a Wonder Woman game. That would be very fun. Oh, the cosplay is very good here, I have to say. It might be, you guys might be better cosplayers than us, although now all the American cosplay people are going to tear me apart. So it just means up your game, America, cosplayers.
Talking of cosplay, also at the show was Wipeout star and Access favourite Amy Nakajima, who got talking to some other homemade heroes.
I'm Millie, I live in South London. I'm actually a personnel manager for Shoe.
And of a weekend you like to dress as Catwoman as well, that's pretty amazing.
Or a monkey, or a tank girl, or anything else that takes my fancy.
My God, Thing, you must be so hot.
Getting there, I've had to pop outside a few times just to get some fresh air. But one of the modifications I made was to put a fan in the mouth part on the mask.
Look at that, this is effort, this is cosplay.
And that's the end, unless you want to see more of Amy, which you can do on our YouTube channel right now. Thanks to all at Kapow for hosting an amazing event, and thanks to Amy for being Amy. That's about it for this week. In the next episode, we'll be taking a look at Alien Invasion RTS XCOM Enemy Unknown. And as a taster, we asked associate producer Pete Murray which famous aliens he reckons he can take barehanded. So, Pete, Mac and me.
I don't know. No, I would do it without hesitation.
Tactical Officer Worf.
You just tell him no, and that solves the problem of war.
The Predator.
No, I could not take the Predator. What, are you crazy?
The Thing.
Which thing? The problem is, I would then turn into the Thing, and then my friends and family would be forced to kill me hideously with fire later on.
Alien, although you can have a stick with a nail through it.
No, no, no. The only way to be sure is to nuke the entire site from orbit.
David Bowie?
David Bowie? No, he's just too awesome. You'd go to punch him, and he'd just be like, "Ding," and you'd just die.
Alien fools have got no chance. See you next week.